Welcome back, everybody. It's a little bit busy in the market today. There's a lot of conversation going outside of our shop, but I wanted to get this video in because we haven't been posting up videos for a while, and despite all the background noise and conversations, let's get going. What we're doing today is I'm laying out components for a rebuild of a computer, and what we have in front of us is all the components necessary to actually put together a fairly decent business class computer. The computer we're in question is actually that computer out there. It's that silver or the white beige case. It's been stripped. The old components are actually right there. It's what we have in front. It was a Core 2 Duo LG 775 motherboard, and it served its purpose for its time. But we are going to reuse the case because the case is perfectly fine, and quite frankly the case is actually more sturdy than what you can get now. Some of those old cases had really thick steel, and that's what you want. So let's get back to the components at hand. We're going to be rebuilding this computer with a Core i5. This is specifically built to handle an upgraded software suite that the customer needs. And it's new year, new Core i5. So it's the i5 6500 LGA 1151 socket. I haven't opened it up yet, but its base frequency is 3.2 gigahertz, and then it turbos up to 3.6. We're going to actually just use the built-in Core i5 graphics, which is more enough for their business application. And the reason being is that the previous computer, the previous motherboard, had this graphics card in, an NVIDIA 7300, believe it or not. And I don't know if they really needed this. I guess back in the day they may have needed it for their business applications, but a separate GPU, it went out. You see the fan is pretty much dead and such. And so for business applications, built-in graphics is actually better as long as you're not doing anything graphically intense. And so the Core i5 is something that was on their requirement list. In terms of reliability, we are also going with a SanDisk SSD. 240 gig model is more than enough for what they do. They don't actually really use it for storing data, and it's fast. It's faster than any traditional platter drive. We have an 8 gig kit of DDR4 from Crucial, and it's the Ballistic series. And the Ballistic series used to be really high end, and then now it's pretty much normal, fare for them. It's 8 gig kit, 2400 megahertz. I believe, I don't know what the case latency on this is, but it might be case latency 11. DDR is still fairly has high case latency right now. We're going with Windows 8.1 Professional because, quite frankly, it's got a longer service life, than Windows 7 Professional by like 3 years or so. And again, that's what the customer wanted. And so the motherboard we decided to get was Gigabyte's Z17. I think that's a 0M-3DH. Not too expensive of a board, 125. And for the amount of tech has really evolved over time. For micro ATX, it offers you quite a bit. So it offers you Crossfire. I don't know if this board can actually do SLI. I'm assuming it probably can. But basically for micro ATX, it gives you a lot of features on it. Of course, we're going to be using the built-in i5 graphics. This board does support the M.2 SSD, so it's pretty nice. High quality audio capacitors. It's got that thing where you actually separate the audio card off, and I don't know exactly how much more clear that makes anything. And then we have the Gigabyte Dual BIOS. Really busy today, noisy at the market. I can't believe it. It's a Thursday, but let's take a look at what it looks like. Okay, so you get your manual. So I'm not really a fan when companies do this. They shipped it without any padding, and there isn't even a foam padding in the bottom. I understand that you want to cut back on packaging costs, but still. It's just disconcerting. Well, you get your driver disc, and I don't believe that they're going to give you a sticker with this because Gigabyte's been really going back and stuff. What is this? Oh, okay. Submit and win something. And you get 2 SATA cables and just a plain simple back IO shield plate. Now, so that's, well, let's take a look at the motherboard. What am I doing? Since it didn't give us much, might as well take a look at what the board looks like, huh? It's not a very heavy board. Okay, there we go. What we have here is we have that the audio capacitors, dedicated audio capacitors, and you know this part on the PCB board. It's supposed to indicate where it's separate from the main board, and it's as separate as you can get. You know, I guess. Like I said, I haven't read any reviews or I haven't really listened to it. Now, for a micro ATX board, it's very nice that they have the M.2 connector here, and also let me see how many SATA. You get quite a bit of SATA connectors too, 2, 4, 5, 6. So I believe that these two micro SATA, I believe it's shared on the. It may be shared, so you might lose connectivity in one of these. I'm not sure in this particular model, but I know with previous models they do that. It looks like you have 2 front USB connectors, which is pretty awesome for a microboard. In terms of fan headers, which is important to a lot of people, you get 1 and 2, and I think that's it. You get 2 fan headers, typical fare, I guess. And your CPU fan, 20. Well, I shouldn't have. So you get one fan header here and one fan header here. I'm sorry, I just got the camera on tripod and the audio capacitors here again. You get a PCI Express, 2 full PCI Express connectors, and you have PCI. This is kind of a little bit unusual because some boards they do away with PCI connectors and they just go to PCI Express. But there you go. It's a little bit odd to see. I don't know exactly what that. It looks like an old audio header, but it can't be. You know, his audio connectors here, COM port, trusted TPM, LBT. Wow, it is a little bit odd to have some of the connectivity that you do have on this board, but it's there. You do have a combo PS2, 2 USB 2.0, and the rest are going to be USB 3.0. I don't believe this is USB 3.1 yet. And then onboard audio that outputs, you get HDMI, VGA, and DVI. So, you know, nice light little, you know, motherboard, and it should work out for what we're going to be doing. And if anybody wants to see this, I guess we should do an entire unboxing of it. But let's unbox this real quick, you know, just to see what the new. We've actually built a Core i7 6600K, but I haven't been able to upload those videos, and I believe, I hope I can find it. It was last year, actually. And that's the new Core i7, Core i5 stickers that they give you. And you do get a fan still. It's still one of the Intel cheapo fans and such, and hey, you know, it is what it is. And let's see what we got for the processor. The CPU is pretty much the same, you know, a little bit different heatsink and such, but basic Intel design that they've kept for years and years now. If you're wondering about the power supply, we are going with Thermaltake's TR2 430. And I believe we may have unboxed this a while back, but we're using it just because it has that 5-year warranty on there, and it's been working out as a really, really good power supply for us for many years now. So I highly recommend it. And that's about it, unless we do a quick unboxing of the SanDisk 240 gig SSD. Now, most people, now that SSD prices have gone down, most people still are not aware of how much more efficient and how much faster SSDs are, and that's because it's just not in the mainstream. You know, computers computers in the market right now are still using platters, you know, traditional hard drives, for cost, you know, reasons, and they can mark it up because right now the price of hard drives have dropped considerably, and so, but SSDs have also dropped considerably too, and so this is what SanDisk gives you. You basically, again, some promotional information here. This model most of them come with spacers, because if you were to put this into a laptop, most laptop hard drives are still, I believe it's I want to say it's wow, this thing is really packaged in there. Let me go get something to cut this real quick. I'm gonna do this tearing apart. This is a 0.7 millimeter, I think it's 0.7 millimeter centimeter SSD. So, meaning that it won't actually fit right in some laptops because there's going to be, it'll be hanging and there'll be space. So, what this does is that it actually, you put it on top here, and it gives you the proper spacing where it actually fits snug and tight in some older laptops. So that's what the spacer is for. But this SSD, and it's budget minded because it's basically, it looks like it's a plastic shielding, a plastic case. I think that's where the, you know, those cost savings come in. In terms of performance, it's not the fastest SSD, but it's more than fast enough for what most people need it for, unless you're doing like massive data transfer or some kind of like immense, you know, rendering or some kind of data crunching. It's more than fast enough. So this is what I'll be going into the build. I'll do a quick follow-up video after all the components are in there, and we'll take some screenshots and stuff and see how it runs. Thanks for watching. Any questions or comments, please post them at the bottom of the video.